Hey guys, in this video I will quickly go through a pretty useful Python script which is to rename files and folders by replacing one existing string in their name with another string. It's quite useful in the use case that when you have a large number of files in a particular directory and you want to rename them all, and you don't want to do them manually, because manually one by one will take a long time. So there's two ways. One is with the bash script and in Linux Unix environment, or with Python. So today I will go through the Python script. So the first implementation, I will implement a non-recursive way to do this. That is, it will only do one level of the directory, and then in the next step I will also do a recursive way of doing this. So let's start. First, I already have imported the OS module, which is one of the built-in module of Python, pretty useful for dealing with operating system related functions. So let's get started here. I will use couple of functions here. One is rename. I also have to use replace function. Let's start with rename OS dot rename takes two parameters. So one is the source, which is my os dot path dot join, and os dot path dot join will take two parameters, all the components of the path to be constructed. So my directory and the file name. Okay, let's first define a directory here. Directory equal to okay, and the rename will take two parameters. The first parameter is existing directory, and the next one would be the destination, which is also os.path.join and directory f again, but I am going to replace it with let's say I have a string called sum string in the name of the files and directories that I want to replace with, for example, let's say other string, and I have to do this for the whole list of files and directories of the current directory. So I have to make use of os.listdir, but of course the whole thing I have to do this within a list array for f in os.listdir. So the os.listdir method in Python is used to get the list of all the files and directories in the specified directory. If we do not specify a directory in the argument, then the list of files and directories in the current working directory will be returned. But in this case I am going to specify it, which will be my directory that I already defined. And let's go with the function. First, I'm renaming the current existing files by replacing the sum string with other string, and this for loop will go through each of the files and directories of the current directory. So let's run it and see. So for example, my directory is this pictures folder. I have one folder called sum string free and another file called sum string free, and inside these, just for testing, inside this folder I have also some nested folder with a similar name. But let's first try it. Let's run the function. Okay, you see that this has got changed. Some string has become other string here as well for the file. Let's see if it is done for the nested level. No, it has not done for the nested level because we have not dealt with this situation. So now let's go to the next implementation to do the same function recursively. All right, let's start the next part, which is to do the same function recursively. So that means that now I want to make the function in such a way that it will traverse through each depth of the directory tree and rename the files or replace the string in the file and directory names at each level. So it can go up to any depth level in the file tree. So let's start. I of course need the OS module. Also beyond that, I need the shutil module. Import that. And I need the shutil because this will be required for moving some files after renaming them. We will see in a moment. And I also want the sys module. Sys module is for handling, so in this particular function I want to make it such a way that it will take command line arguments. So I need sys.argv function to capture those command line arguments. So let's start with this. First I have to traverse the directory of the current directory, and that I can do with os.walk. So, and what os.walk is that it generates file names in a directory tree by walking the tree either top down or bottom up. And for each directory in the tree rooted at directory top, including the top itself, it yields a 3 tuple, and that tuple and the 3 tuples are dir path, that is the directory path, directory names, and file names. So let's see. For dir, not dir, root, dirs, and files. Okay, so os.walk will give me this 3, and now yes, so now I need to capture the first argument, the second argument passed to command line. First argument by default will be the file names, the program itself, and the second argument is whatever I pass. So that for here is and I want to make the top down false for now. Top down. For F. So now first I'm traversing the files, and then in the next loop I will traverse the directory. So for F in files, okay, I also again need the os.path.join root and F. Makes sense. Yeah, so I need the os.path.join method here because it joins a path intelligently. That means this method concatenates the various path components with exactly one directory separator, which is a / in Unix environment, or / in Linux, or / in Windows. Sorry about that. And with os.path.join, this function can be implemented in both environment, Windows or Unix. os.path.join. All right. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Here I want to capture this os.path.join inside my shutil.move, because that's what I'm moving. I'm moving the files. So the shutil.move function, this is part of the shutil module, which is also a built-in module of Python, and it helps in when moving or copying files. These shutil module helps you to automate this kind of situations, that steps for opening file or the reading the file or writing and closing, all these steps I can actually escape by using shutil. So this move function recursively moves a file or directory to another location if the destination, that is, it moves a source to the destination, and if the destination is an existing directory, then src is moved inside that directory. So let's see how I can do it here. shutil.move. I also need to provide it the second destination, which will also be my os.path. file.join. But now I'm going to replace the file name with after removing or replacing the string that I do not want. So that would be f.replace. This also takes two arguments. One is my existing string name. Let's say my file name has a string called sum string, sum string, and that I want to replace with an empty string. Okay, and I also want to strip it, strip. The strip function is just a simple function in Python which will strip the given string by the arguments, and if I don't provide any arguments, which is the case here that I am not providing any arguments to strip function, in that case it will strip all the trailing and the leading spaces. Okay, strip, and now I have to do this again for my directory. Okay, for dir in dirs, and remember this dirs is coming from this os.walk. Like we discussed that os.walk will give me 3 tuples for dir in dirs. Move again, and the same functionality, the same mechanism that I will be applying for directories now. Join root and directory, and this is my source directory, and now it will be, I have to pass my destination directory, which is again west.path.join root, and here again I'm replacing the directory name with the string that I want replace. I'm assuming my directory also has this sum string, and which I want to replace with an empty string. And same way I want to strip it, strip. All right. Okay, looks like I made some syntactical mistake here. Alright, so I did a quick reformatting of the file. So this is the function currently it looks like. First it traverses through the files, and then in the second loop it traverses through the directories by and replaces each occurrence of these particular string called sum string with an empty string. Now we need to run this function. Okay, let's clear my terminal. So this is my example directory. This is my root level directory, and I have couple of files and folders here. One of the file has some string already appended to its name, and the same goes with the directory. And in the inside the next level directory also has similar kind of structure, that one directory has some string, another file has some string, and I want to replace at both these depth level the sum string part with the empty string. So to run this function, and this function, like I said, that we want to run this function as a command line function, so I have to pass the arguments. So Python, copy the file name, and I have to remember that we are capturing the argv1 here, so this is the second argument passed to the terminal, and that would be my directory here, because that's what we are traversing with os.walk. Alright, that's my directory, and I'm just pressing enter. Okay, cool. See, my that same string, the sum string, got replaced with an empty string. That is, there is no string before that. And let's check out the next nested level. Yep, there also I do not see anymore the sum string part. So this function worked as expected by replacing at each depth level the string with an empty string. And I pretty much use it quite a few times, and every week whenever I am dealing with a lot of files and I have to rename them pretty fast. All right, so thanks for watching.